А мне опять инет вылетел. Скотина. Привет, Тазур. Что-то у меня днем начал интернет вылетать. Хуйня какая-то. Бесит.
An old generator had been connected to the power cable.
The lights are on. Good work, honey. I'll freshen up a bit and start settling in.
Okay, I'll look around a bit.
The island had once been the site for a love story.
Да, так что у меня тупо вылетел инет. Тупую.
It was a beautiful place.
Моя.
I told myself I could rest here, sleep here, and forget about my work.
Бесит.
I thought we could be happy here.
Оно рефрешнуло этот время говна или нет? Тайм, да. Яро. Ну такое, мне не нравится, что мне интернет дропается. Чуть в последнее время мне надо будет пойти насрать под дверь провайдеру. Сказать, что они хуесосы. Я думал, вчера это была акция на один день.
Alice? Honey?
Бля, рыба.
A shoebox filled with books by Thomas Zane sat on the shelf. I'd never heard of him before.
Кто такой Томас Зейн? Хуесос какой-то.
Alan, I'm upstairs. I have a surprise for you.
Надеюсь, сюрприз это то, что ты раздетая, блядь. Штаны ты уже сняла? Ей.
Hello there.
I'm not the surprise.
Hello there.
Steady. Go take a look.
Okay.
Блять. Я же сказал, что мы в отпуске.
Alice? What is this?
I guess I have a small confession to make. I thought maybe you could write here that a change of scenery would get you past...
Damn it, Alice, everyone keeps...
Hey, just hear me out. There's a local doctor, Dr. Hartman. I read a book of his. He has a private clinic here. He specializes in helping artists. Maybe...
So now you want to get me committed?
No, it's not like that. That's not... Alan? Alan?
Just don't! I don't want to hear it! God damn it, Alice! God damn it! I knew she wouldn't follow me in the dark. I needed some time alone to think
Ну
things
так какой это год? Ну это вот эта вот оболочка типичная. Раньше было лучше.
Damn it. Alice? Alice? Alice!
Шон!
It had gone dark. All the lights were out. Alice, I'm coming! What the hell? Alice? Alice?
Зачем ты спрыгнула, дура?
Oh no!
Бля, еще и жена умерла. Охуенный отпуск, блядь.
Alice?
Waking up in the crashed car felt like I had woken from one nightmare and entered another. I couldn't remember how I got there. All I knew was that something terrible had happened to Alice. The phone was dead. I'd have to find help on foot.
Нихуя непонятно, так себе интересно.
Among Alice's things was a book, The Creator's Dilemma, by a Dr. Emil Hartman. Seeing the book brought back my fight with Alice. I didn't like it, and I didn't like the guy's smug face on the cover either.
Smug face.
The gas station was my best bet. They'd have a phone I could use. It looked like a long hike through the forest to get there.
А можно просто в воду прыгнуть, лол.
Damn.
Блять, машина. Ну, пиздец. Что за шиза вообще происходит, блядь? Что реальность, а что, блядь, Майкл Бэй?
Hello? Hello? Is someone there?
Гендальф белый.
The loose sheets of paper were pages from a manuscript entitled Departure. That was the name I planned to use for the next novel I had never gotten started. I was named the author. I hadn't written it. I couldn't remember writing it. In the scene on the page, the hero was attacked by an axe murderer in the woods at night.
А, блять.
The man turned to face me. His face was covered in shadows. It was hard to make him out in the darkness of the forest that surrounded us, but the axe he lifted was plain to see. It glistened with the blood of his victim. He grinned madly. The shadows were alive, distorting his...
Понятно, спойлеры, блять.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident.
Вся твоя жизнь эксидент. А самый главный спойлер я получил в контроле, Капа.
The lights up ahead were a good sign. Maybe I wouldn't have to hike all the way down to the gas station to find a phone.
Я знаю, что этот дебил выживет.
Anybody there? Please, I've been in an accident. Hey! Hey, you!
Phil!
There's been an accident. I need help. Listen,
Deposit.
I need to...
Premium cabins for rent in
Привет, сыр.
Coral Stucky. Pleased to meet you. Non-refundable reservation deposit required. Fair and square.
Еще кого-то Томаса Зейна.
And square.
Время читать спойлеры.
The Taken stood before me. It was impossible to focus on it, as if it stood in a blind spot caused by a brain tumor and eye disease. It was bleeding shadows like ink underwater, like a cloud of blood from a shark bite. I was terrified. I squeezed the flashlight like my life depended on it, willing it to stop coming any closer. Suddenly something gave, and the light seemed to shine brighter.
to arrive. You lose. Deposit.
А!
The latest.
Соси. О, сияние.
Figure a way out of this. Any second now, and Stucky would be knocking on the door with his axe like Nicholson in The Shining.
Не. Никольсон. Батарейки.
During your
Патроны.
trying, it's the latest thing. Incontestably.
8800.
Let you
Bright Falls Sheriff Station. Homie,
Hello?
see the sights and keep those cholesterol.
This is bad.
Блять, открывайся! О, открылась. Уи! Привет, краб. Ай! Ток ебаный. Ну хоть не тик-ток.
There were more of them. My head pounded with a concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone. Or something. There were no bodies. They just disappeared.
И
It felt real enough to make me sick.
давайте включим свет ебучий. Или ты тварь дрожащая. Так свет не включается.
The dark forest was the last place I wanted to go, but I had no choice.
Да,
I
я
had to
только
get to the gas
запустил
station.
игру. Интернет вылетел и опять запустил. Пошел нахер. Вибан. Опа. Хватит принимать на ночь, что ты принимаешь.
What the hell was that? When I saw the river below, something uncoiled itself inside my head. I realized that I'd have to find a way across. I didn't even want to look at the water.
Конечно не хочешь, потому что на ней 3 полигона, капа. Вода даже не в 60 FPS, ясно. О, кофеин. Кофеин, кетамин и прочие вещества. Туру-туру, туру-туру. О, спойлеры. Что там в спойлерах?
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon, but Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that, not sleeping, messed up. Barry had years of experience dealing with Alan Wake, and he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
Something was wrong. I got you, homie. Как же он по бревну бежать не хочет, а?
Stucky was still out there, in the dark, stalking me.
О, нет. Ай! Больно в ноге так-то, а? Бля, я потерялся. А, прыгать. Прыгать. Proceed at your own risk. Окей. Я рисковый парень. Стрелочка. How convenient. Пыщ. Давай, 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 давай. В ОБ пошли, блядь. Давай. Тут говна. Taken.
They're taken. Eerie hand
Taken 7.
was revealed by my flashlight. Someone had hidden a chest
Да,
of supplies near it.
именно. Здорово. Nani the fuck? Бля, да сколько мне батареек надо? Что с тобой делать, ящик? Ты странный ящик. Говна поешь.
The
Бля,
staircase was broken.
я тут
I
был,
had to make my
не?
way up some other way.
Some other way. Ну, прыгни. Серьезно, тут не так уж и высоко, чтобы бояться нахуй.
I couldn't stay here. There had to be a way to get up there. There was no power. There was bound to be a generator somewhere at the logging site.
There is no power. Вергилий покинул чат. Но хоть тут свет от фонарика в бок уходит, когда мы его в бок берем. Привет, Васлан. Почему она плохая? То, что ей сделали Ремеди, не значит, что она плохая. Ладно, я поменяю батарейку. Так уж и быть, хуй с вами.
With all this forestry equipment around, there had to be something I could use to reach the top.
свет озарил мою больную душу. Ладно, спойлеры читать пока не буду. О, блядь. Now we're talking. Shot fucking gun. Говорится, стреляй, ебучее оружие. Так, а зачем я включил свет? А. Флеш-кнопка, нажмись. Это мост. А как развивать фонарик? Насадки на него ставить какие-то? Или превратить его, блять, в огромный фонарь? Ну, просто его как развить, как какать? Серьезно.
Well, I was just outside for a breath of fresh air, and what a night. I know most of you are probably...
Ну так контрол уже сделали.
Step outside for a spell and breathe in deep.
Бля, хули лопату не могу взять? Я бы лопатой пиздил. Эти знаки просто показывают, где этот секрет очка, блять, валяется, или зачем они? Я не могу понять. А зачем его из Стима удалять? Excuse me, what's the point? У меня он в гоговская версия.
The gas station was closer now.
Типа и обычный American's Nightmare там же. А, ну спасибо. То есть меня точно забанят на твиче. Сосать, лалка. Ты думаешь, я засу и отпущу? А то как нельзя купить Most Wanted, Underground и Need for Speed? Там же что же, лицензии в говне. Вася, а зачем ты испарился, а? Я в них посветил, и они испарились. Ну, алло. Соси. Да ёбаный. Меня захуярили. Ну пиздец, ГГ. Поднимай коллектиблсы, не будь дебилом. Что там? Safe Heaven. Да в смысле, я тебе доджу как могу. Ублюдок. Тс. Это грустно. С одной стороны. С другой стороны, ну, бывает. Это вся игра, вот так вот бегаешь, жопу сосешь. Плеерган хорошая вещь. ФГ. Division. Привет, Владислав. Понятно, пистолет не настоящий. Фикция. Да бля, мне лень.
The cabin on Cauldron Lake? She asked. The sheriff looked at me suspiciously. The early morning light flooded through the office windows. I would probably never have gotten out of the woods alive without her help. But I couldn't tell her the truth of what I'd faced the previous night. She'd think I was lying or crazy. She'd lock me up, and she wouldn't help me find Alice.
Alice.
Barry Wheeler was bouncing off the walls. He jumped on a plane after his calls were ignored by both Al and Alice for several days. It could mean that they were both on a second honeymoon. But Barry didn't buy it. Al had been way too unstable for that. Not sleeping, messed up.
Для кого? Для этой игры? Нахуя?
And he couldn't ignore it. Something was wrong.
Русскую озвучку использовать капа.
Tonight's episode, a quantum suicide.
Quantum suicide, блядь. Идите нахуй. Ваше шоу дерьмо. Не знаю. Но если название дерьмо, я это не смотрю. В основном я так руководствуюсь. А хули ты попал? Думаешь, я не справлюсь с твоей жопой?
Stucky's body vanished, leaving behind only a lifetime of nightmares to come. Assuming I'd reach the lights at the gas station alive.
Хуйня точно мне наебало не упадет? О, кофе. Ебать, ворота открылись.
I recognized the parade float I had seen in Bright Falls when I first arrived.
Блядский олень. Нахуя такие олени делать вообще? Это ж, блядь.
After the insanity I had just experienced in the darkness, the lights of the gas station felt comforting. At least for a moment, the sane world reasserted itself. Stucky spat on the garage floor and tried to shake the cobwebs from his head. Ever since the couple never showed to pick up the keys, things had been fuzzy. Something, a feeling caught his attention.
Ну так и не понял, моя жена умерла или нет?
His brain tried in vain to process the horror before him. He stumbled back, knocking over a can of oil. A black pool spread across the floor while he struggled for a brief moment, then let go as the unrelenting darkness engulfed him. The Deer Fest had been 2 weeks away when we arrived. If the day count on the banner was right, I was missing a whole week between the night we got here and now. The garage was a mess. It looked like someone had trashed the place, or that there'd been some kind of fight.
I'll write. I'll keep writing. Outside there's only darkness. Outside the cabin, outside the store, there's only darkness.
Сдохни!
Presence in the dark. Just now I could smell her perfume in the room. I'll reach her, I'll fix it up. I'll bring her back.
За сигаретами, да? 10 лет назад.
She's lost.
Наша жена, отец. Я понял.
Talking crazy. Was I losing my mind?
Рид. Я не умею читать. Я умею только писать. Кто там Рид? А, сзади меня. Raffle tickets, fishing competition, pie contest and surprise competitions. Live music for the children, back to church. Чё, блядь? Montgomery, The Mystics, Amazing, Phantasmagoria. Вы пьяные, что ли? Open! Написано Open! Let me out! Меня на Open наебали. Кто там шарудит? Автомобиль рабочий? Хуй знает. Олень, ты не собираешься меня пиздить, надеюсь? Бля, с той стороны клозет написано.
I had to get inside the gas station to find a phone to call for help.
Ну, закрыто все. ГВП. Давай. Слышь, ты чё, охуел, блядь? падать. Да шо ж эрудит, блядь, дайте я уже убью кого-то. Я хладнокровный убийц. Фрагиле. Жопа твоя, фрагиле. А, вот телефон, бля, я слепой утырок. Здорово.
Great Falls Sheriff Station.
Oh, thank God, Sheriff.
Sheriff Sarah Breaker, you are...
I'm Alan Wake, but listen. I was in a car crash. My wife, Alice, she's missing.
Calm down, Mr. Wake.
We were staying in a cabin on the island, on Cauldron Lake.
There's no island on Cauldron Lake, not since the big eruption in the 70s.
Please, I can take you there, okay?
You look like you've taken a pretty bad knock to the head. Are you okay?
Listen.
We'll figure this out. Please get in the car. We'll swing by the lake and then we'll go to the station, okay? Mr. Wake, have you seen Stucky, the guy who owns this place?
I realized I couldn't tell her what had happened in the forest. She wouldn't have believed me. And then she wouldn't have helped me with Alice.
Нихуя непонятно. Лель. О, roll credits. Ей, мы прошли игру. Все, спасибо, что смотрели. Можно идти спать. Нахуй. Заткнитесь, копирайт-клеймы в жопу, пожалуйста. Я не хочу вас, нахуй.